everyone, so in today's video I wanted to jump on here and give you guys a video that is a little bit different than the typical videos I see surrounding luxury products. I often see a lot of videos of like luxury regret products. So kind of taking inspiration from videos like that, I wanted to show you guys some products that I initially was like, am I gonna regret this purchase? I mean, these are really expensive products that I ended up purchasing and really loving. Sometimes with makeup, you just kind of have to take the plunge, especially if you can't swatch something in person. But these are the luxury products that I truly adore and definitely don't regret purchasing. So if you enjoyed today's video, definitely make sure to give it a thumbs up. And I hope that if you're new that you will consider subscribing. Let's first start off with a primer that is so expensive, and I have talked about it before on my channel, which is the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. When I initially heard about this product, I really wasn't sure if I was going to actually take the plunge to buy it. Primers are already kind of controversial, right? I've actually always been a big fan of priming and prepping the skin. It really makes an incredible difference on my skin, especially because my skin is just so dry. But it retails for $60 and you get 1.7 fluid ounces. So I wasn't sure if I could take the plunge, but I finally did. This was probably about 4 years ago now. And now I have gone through multiple tubs of this primer. So let me tell you who I think would really enjoy a product like this. You are someone that has dry skin and you deal with textural issues. One thing that I really enjoy about this is that it gives your skin such a buttery, smooth finish to it. It really glides over the skin. It isn't a primer that is super silicone-y or dimethicone-y. It doesn't have a ton of slip though. It really just feels like another step to a skincare routine. It feels luxurious on the skin, it feels nourishing, but it never feels greasy, which I also don't like when I feel like I apply a primer. And you know, you like when a primer gives your skin a little bit of slip so that, you know, the foundation goes well on top of it, but I really hate when I apply one and I can just feel all of my makeup sort of slipping and sliding all over my face. This one is awesome because it gives my skin enough slip, but it also hydrates it. It also keeps my skin feeling fresh throughout the day. I definitely notice when I wear this if my skin has been having textural issues, if it's super dry. At the end of the day, my skin won't look as dry. There is also a travel size of it now. So it's good because you don't have to take the plunge and buy the entire tub. Now I have to be honest, I really like having the tub because I can just dunk my sponge in it and it's kind of easy for me. Definitely like a holy grail product for me. I always find that it is worth the investment when I go to repurchase it. And this was one of those products. I was on the fence for a long time about purchasing it and I am very glad that I actually did. Next, let's talk about one of my absolute favorite luxury cream highlights, if not my favorite luxury cream highlight, which are the Hollywood Beauty Light Wands from Charlotte Tilbury. Now, she recently released a new shade within her like Pillow Talk line, which is this absolutely gorgeous rose gold, but Spotlight is the original champagne. They retail for $38 and you get 0.4 ounces of product in here. Now, though you don't get a full ounce of product, it's kind of rare to get an entire ounce of product with more liquidy cream highlights. And I have to be honest, there are some things that I don't like about this. I don't like the packaging. I don't like that it does look like you get so much more product than you actually do. But the reason that I repurchased and the reason I actually ended up buying the Pillow Talk shade of this is that this formula just blows so many cream highlights out of the water. I'm one of those people now where sometimes my foundation and my skin prep gives me everything I need from a highlight. And there are so many highlights out there now that just aren't really doing it for me. They accentuate texture, or they just look too makeup-y. And then there are other highlights that I feel like I apply them and then I'm like, did I even do anything? Did I even apply anything? They can kind of be a little bit lackluster. This is the highlight that I'm wearing on my cheeks today. There's something really special about the balance that Charlotte Tilbury has been able to create with this formula because it has a really gorgeous pop to it. It will highlight the cheeks, it will bring light, it's super reflective and wet looking, but when it's actually applied to the skin, it doesn't remain really tacky, so it's not super dewy, feels very comfortable on the skin, and it doesn't accentuate texture. It blends into the other products that you already have on your skin and it lasts. That's another thing. Some cream highlights tend to fade very quickly, especially if they are more on the natural side. And I do think that's because it does set down on the skin, but it's also not a cream to powder sort of finish. So it remains really glossy and pretty. The shade Spotlight is, again, like my go-to because it's an old favorite. It is a really gorgeous, vibrant champagne. It's really pretty because you can kind of layer it under foundation to give you more of like a lit from within glow, but you could build this up and get like a super wet look effect on your cheeks. But I really like Pillow Talk as well because it's slightly more subtle than Spotlight. It's more of a rose gold tone, and it's gorgeous because it really just makes the cheeks look fresh, juicy. It really just makes your skin look like it's healthy and glowing, but it's not too subtle, which is kind of what I'm trying to get at. I love finding products with that really cool balance. This is definitely one of those products. So though it's expensive, it is a luxury product that I am so glad that I tried. Next we have the Ashen Ember Eye Soots from Rituelle de Fille. I get so many questions about these, and I'm always happy to talk about them because I obviously really love them. But I think that they're definitely like a mysterious product in a lot of ways. People aren't really sure what they're getting into when they go to purchase it. They're like, is it a cream? Is it a powder? Is it something completely different? And another thing is they retail for $38. So again, more expensive for a single eyeshadow. You get 0.2 ounces of product in here. So it might be difficult for someone to take the plunge when looking to purchase these. But I have to say, these were some of the first eyeshadows that I just truly fell in love with the formula. I'm the kind of person where I don't like a typical powder eyeshadow because I find that my eyelids look dry. Though they define my eyes, I feel like it almost takes away from the way my skin looks, like the quality of the eyelid. I really like for my skin all over my face to look healthy, to look fresh, and that's why I often go towards cream products. They tend to have a better time doing that. But what Rituelle de Fille has been able to do is something really special. They've created basically a pigment product, but it's mixed with oils, kind of somewhere between a cream and a powder. So it'll apply onto the skin as easily as a powder would, but it gives you a very creamy finish. It never looks heavy on the skin, and that's something when I had first tried out Half Light, this is the first shade I ever purchased, I immediately noticed as I was applying it that my eyes just didn't look weighed down with product. It melts into the skin in a really gorgeous way. And I really do think it's because of the formula. There are a ton of different shades to choose from. I have Half Light, which is a gorgeous taupe shade. I also have Golden Age, which is just a really pretty, like rusty vintage gold. Such a unique color. I feel like brands don't make these like brassy gold colors anymore. And then I also have Love Spell, which is just gorgeous if you have green eyes. A really gorgeous orange bronze shade. They are what I'm wearing on my eyes today. And what I love about these is that it offers the convenience of a powder, giving you the look of a really creamy eyeshadow. So what I did today is I took Half Light and I put it into the crease, like all the way up to my brow bone. I love this taupe shade. It really is just perfect for defining the eye. It never leans too cool. It just looks creamy and gorgeous on the skin. Perfect as just like a one and done eyeshadow. But I wanted to show you all of the eyeshadows today. So what I did is I went in with Golden Age on the outer corner. And what's really pretty about these shadows is that if you use a more fluffy brush, you can really wash out the colors. So though this is a little bit more metallic, when you apply it onto the lids with a really fluffy brush, it ends up just looking really creamy and like slightly wet rather than super shimmery or too chunky on the skin. And then I just took Love Spell onto the lower lash line. The only thing that I don't like about this product is that the top to it is very small, so it's difficult to put a finger into the product and just apply it with a finger. And I believe Rituelle de Fille has said that the whole reason they did that is they don't want people disrupting the way that they have pressed the product, which they believe is really important in the eyeshadow performing to the best of its ability. But I do look past it because when you apply it with a brush, it still looks so creamy, but they're offering a little bit more staying power as opposed to like a traditional cream eyeshadow. If you're a fan of really like undone eyeshadow looks, you want something that looks really lightweight on the skin but still looks creamy. If you're looking for unique shades, especially, this line has some shades that I'm just not seeing other brands put out. And I just have to say, like, as a whole, I also just like the brand. I think the brand cares. So I always like to give them a shout out when I can, because this was the first product I tried out and I have been a fan ever since. And next I have a question first. What eyelash curler are you using and how old is it? I highly recommend investing in a nice eyelash curler. My absolute favorite, and the one that kind of changed everything for me, was the Kevyn Auccoin eyelash curler. Once you try a luxury eyelash curler, you're not going to want to go back to the drugstore. First of all, not to go all like mom, but you are dealing with your eyes and your eyelashes. You could actually do some damage if you're not using one that's really delicate around the eye area. What makes the Kevyn Auccoin eyelash curler different is that it's much wider than a lot of eyelash curlers. So it's going to get all of the lashes that you have. And it also opens quite a bit, again, to ensure that it's going to get all of the lashes. Once you curl your lashes with it, it really does hold a curl, in my opinion, better than other eyelash curlers out there, while also not sacrificing the actual health of the lashes. It's still a very gentle eyelash curler. 100%, if I do not curl my lashes, I will not wear mascara. I have like decently long lashes, not super long, not super short, but they're not naturally curly. So I really need that curl. I always go to this. I have like multiple of these because I need one at all times. And if I don't have one, I will go out and purchase one. It's $20. So though it's more expensive than going out and getting like a $5 lash curler or a $10 lash curler, it is absolutely worth it. It's an investment that I guarantee you will be happy that you made. It really is an essential makeup tool. And we have what is on my lips, and it's actually a product that I recently reviewed on my channel, so I will leave that full review in case you're interested in like super in-depth review. It is the new Roen liquid lip balm. I'm wearing the shade Charlie on my lips today. I have to say, I was impressed then with the product, but now as I've continued to use it for even longer, I just can't get over how good this formula is. It retails for $26, so it is definitely up there, especially if you really are just looking for a liquid lip balm product. Get 0.34 ounces of product in here. I have all three shades, so I will swatch all three out for you guys. There is really just something so special about this formula. So it goes on like a very typical liquid lip balm. It feels very comfortable on the lips. It offers just a really sophisticated, soft, and extremely flattering shine to the lips. It really envelops the lips and makes them look bigger and softer and healthier without it looking overdone. It really looks incredibly natural. And I think part of that is they've also created a really gorgeous balance with the pigment and the actual texture of the product. The texture isn't heavy. It feels like lip balm on the lips, incredibly comfortable. But the actual pigment of the product is almost translucent. The best way that I can describe this, and I did describe it this way when I put out that full review, but it really reminds me of stained glass, because stained glass, you know, light can kind of shine through it. It has that sort of translucent quality, but the actual color still has pigment and saturation. But somehow it still looks like your lips are shining through the product. It makes it really incredibly flattering. And whenever I wear this, it's one of those lip products that it truly does feel and look like your lips look better than they might actually look. I have chronically dry lips, even in the summer, especially the shade Charlie, which is the shade I'm wearing today. I just wish that my lips always looked like this. It's really a perfect Your Lips But Better color for me. And I love this applicator because you can be a little bit more precise with it. It does have a sort of curved tip, so you also don't have to worry about it looking like you don't have lip lines. You can still sort of define the lips. And if Roen decides to come out with other shades, right now there's only 3 liquid lip shades, I will 100% be there. It does have a minty flavor to it. It doesn't have like a tingling or a plumping sensation. Depending on whether or not you like mint, that is something to keep in mind. I'm really interested in seeing what luxury products were you kind of hesitant to try because they were so expensive, but then you ended up really loving them. Definitely leave those down below. Thank you guys as always for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I really hope you'll consider subscribing. Check out some of my other videos, and I will hopefully see you in my next one.